question came in on one of the last videos from someone. I haven't been able to find anything my heart wants. I've tried many things over many years and I simply don't have any compelling purpose or goals or desires. I hate feeling like this. I just drift. How can I find something that motivates me? So, relatable to a lot of people, I'm sure. And we're talking about desires, goals, purpose, and then you said, how do I find something that motivates me? And I imagine a word that will resonate for a lot of people that's thrown around a lot is passion, right? Having trouble finding something that you're passionate about. And what I'd offer, or, I'm just come out and say it, I think passion is overrated. I think motivation is overrated. I think that these things will come into and out of your life in an inconsistent manner. They're good tools to use, but also to recognize that they're fleeting, essentially. Passion is really a quite new age concept, right? If you think back to 50 years ago, 100 years ago, just keep going back into time, nobody had time to be passionate about things, right? We're all just doing what we need to get by and to survive, And I think that there's a lot of value in recognizing that. Passion gets thrown around a lot in this new age, I imagine because we're so comfortable, right? We have all our needs met. You work from home, you sit on the couch all day on your computer, you order food to your house, and then you wonder why you don't have a lot of engagement with life, right? Or we're living like lives that are pretty numb to sensation. So then you hear someone talk about being motivated or being passionate and you're like, oh yeah, how come I'm not like that, right? And if you can't find a source of motivation or passion, then you feel useless and you feel aimless, right? So what I would offer first off is just to consider that not everyone's gonna be super motivated. Not everyone's gonna be super passionate, and to accept that that's where you're at right now, right? You said you have no goals or desires. Man, let me tell you what, I would love to have no desires. You know what I mean? I would literally be so much more content in life if I didn't have these damn desires. So consider that maybe it's not such a bad thing. Consider that not everyone needs to be fueled by this passion to change the world, passion to help people. Your question stems from the last video where I talked about sitting with yourself and seeing what your heart desires before you go out and do something that is someone else's goal, essentially, or is what someone else told you to do. But the same goes for this. If you just want to be motivated, if you just want to find passion, because you think it's the thing to do, because you think that you should have that or do that, then you're in the same predicament, right? A lot of our experience becomes very in harmony when you just accept where you are right now, what's going on right now. And if right now you don't have any big goals or desires, you got a lot of time to chill out, So I do want to offer you something here to make this practical, okay? You're having trouble finding anything that motivates you, excites you, you should read every day. Set aside some time to read every day. I think you mentioned below the comment that you watched a lot of TV. Trade some of that TV time for reading, right? So I read every single day. In the morning, I wake up, after I do some other stuff, I sit down, usually with a cup of coffee, and I read. And sometimes that's for 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes it lasts an hour, right? But it allows me to explore new concepts and ideas, a lot of the time that I never would have considered, and a lot of the time it excites me, gets me going on new things. I'm like, wow, love this concept, right? You find some motivation from someone else's wisdom. Pretty cool thing. It really just gives the two things that we're talking about here, right? Is that you get to consume some new content, wisdom, ideas from people, which may ignite some motivation for you, maybe not. But the other big thing that it does is it just creates this practice, right? Like we talked about earlier. You just read every single day, right? It's what you do. And like I said, it doesn't have to be super long. It could be 5 minutes. There's a coach, I forget his name, but I remember he would say, read 1 page a day. And 95% of the time, that 1 page is going to turn into 10 pages or maybe 20 pages, right? But even on the days where it doesn't, you just get that 1 page in. And that has the snowball effect, and you gain momentum, and you create a ritual or a practice. And that's what I usually do before bed. I'll hop in bed and I'll just read a couple pages of a novel or something, just to kind of set me into my sleep, right? And the advice I'd give is that if it's boring, if it's hard to get through, if it's not feeling that good, then find another book. Don't feel the pressure to have to finish the book that you're on. Like, I used to feel that pressure. I want to say, well, I've read this whole book. But sometimes these books just get going and they'll just be re-summarizing what they already said. And it's just like, okay, I get it. But there's a little bit of a tangent. But yeah, I used to feel bad about that. But now I'm more than happy to move on to the next thing that interests me, right? Interest is a better word, I think, than excites or motivates, right? Find something you're interested in, learn about it, and let it go from there, right? You find a book by an author that you really resonate with, you read more of that author's books, right? You hear somebody talk about something, one of your friends on a podcast, something, and you say, wow, I'm interested in that. I want to learn more about that topic. And you go read a book on it. Wow. What a great concept. I love it. That brings me to where I ultimately want to go with this question is less and less I see the value in getting all amped up about some big goal and finding a lot of inspiration in somebody that you've seen on the internet. And more, I find value in creating daily ritual, creating daily practice, and taking a lot of pride in that, right? It kind of gets us back to, we were comfortable enough to be passionate about helping rescue dogs. We literally just had to do our daily tasks. We had to do our duties to keep life going, right? And there can be a lot of value in taking pride in the mundane tasks, just the things that you do. These are the things that I do, right? It's about how you do the thing, right? There's a quote from someone, I believe, that says, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So taking pride in how you do the simplest things can really carry over into the rest of your life. And who knows, some motivation may eventually stem from that. But if you're living a kind of numb life, if you're in this, this thing I've been touching on of being so comfortable that a lot of us can just live such passive lives where everything we're doing, we're just consuming, watching this, and then you'll go on to the next thing that you watch. And then you'll read some stuff on Instagram or Facebook and then watch TV, and it's all coming in and it's all very passive. So to take pride in the things that you actually do to the world, whether that be the simplest thing, sweeping the mats, right? Martial arts concept of, before or after every training session, you sweep the mats, right? And that's just as much a part of your practice as anything else is, right? You take pride in these really, really small things. Another thing that's coming to my mind is, I believe it's a Zen parable, and I probably don't have this right, but it's something like, before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. Something to that effect. There's a lot of the time we think like there's something out there that'll like change our experience so much. If I just could do this one thing, if I was just like could find the passion to like develop this one skill Or if I could help people. That's a big one, right? Everybody wants to help people, but no one helps themselves. No one takes pride in just, taking care of yourself and taking pride in yourself. We want to go out there and fix things. But most of our experience can become very beautiful if we appreciate, if we have gratitude for, and if we take pride in what's right in front of us right now. So forget passion, forget motivation, create some rituals in your life, create some daily practices, create routine that you don't compensate on, you don't compromise on. You do the thing, even when you don't want to do the thing. You pay attention to the task, you learn from it, and you devote your life to that. Hope that helps. Done.